So as you can see, it says web development. And of course, you are learning web development, right? The reason why I like to talk about today, you should have the very big picture of web development. Yeah. And I want you also to know how the internet works. Yeah. And after that, you should know what's the web development, what's the process, what does a web developer do? And those questions, you should answer also those questions. And in the web development branch also we have front end and back end. What's front end development? What's back end development? And most of the time, what are code editors? And after that, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This is some demonstration of how the internet works. As you can see, here is the server. But the question you should answer, what is a server actually? A server is just any ordinary computer which can serve data actually. You can send a request, as you can see, as a client, you send a request on the internet, on the cloud, and then you get response and you access a data. It could be a text, it could be a video, it could be an image. So a server is actually a storage, a computer which can store something and it gives you some data when it is required. You send a request and you get the data. And usually these are the browsers we use to render some websites to the data, to see the data. This is a simple explanation for how does the web work. And this is what's web development. Process of design, building, and maintaining a website which ranges a simple single-page application to a complex full-stack applications. I think there are terminologies, a process of design. So web development has some process. First, you do the prototype or the design of the website, how it should look like first, with just a piece of paper and just a pen or a pencil, or using some tools. It could be Adobe or Adobe XD or Figma. There are lots of tools to do design or prototype or wireframes. Then after the design, building, you build something according to the design. And at some point, it may need maintenance, maintaining a website, which ranges a simple single-page application to a complex full-stack application. Now, a range of a simple single-page application. I will leave this for you. So it's going to be, your discussion is going to be, what is a single-page application? You may write down. I will leave you to the breakout room, so you may answer that. What is a single-page application? To a complex full-stack applications. And again, you will also discuss about full-stack applications. What's a full-stack application? Web development can be divided into two categories, front-end and back-end. Front-end is actually the part we see is a front-end development. Usually we use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Backend is the backend technology. We use one programming language and a database to work in the server, and it should be connected to the front end. So actually, if I go back, so this is the front end part, the one you see, and the part a user can interact. And the backend, including a programming language that is a server-side one programming language. It could be Python or Node.js or what's and database. It could be MongoDB or SQL, or it could be any other database. But at least we need one database and one backend or server-side programming language. And on the client, most of the time, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, or JavaScript framework and CSS frameworks. This part and this part, backend or server-side programming and client-side programming or front end. Okay, backend. So actually, how does the web developer, what does a web developer do? I think it's just a repetition of the previous. So a web developer could be, by now, he could be a server-side developer or a client-side developer, or just someone who just manage content. For instance, Drupal, WordPress, all those applications actually gives you an interface to handle data, so that doesn't need much skill. That it doesn't require much skill to work on. Yeah, it's just a drag and drop. Of course, you have to know what plugins to use to make everything work together in harmony. So server-side development, as I said, it's just the backend, and we need at least one server-side programming language and the database. And client-side or the front end, we use HTML or CSS or JavaScript or together. Database, we need database. Usually the best place for this is this and these are together in one side, okay? But so as a client, you see the result from here. Yeah, as I have mentioned many times from the previous sliders, yes, I believe that by now you know HTML and CSS, and now you are learning JavaScript. All this together are a front-end technologies, and React is actually a JavaScript library. And now, what is a library? What's the library? You may also write it down, and we will discuss about library in terms of web development. So React is a JavaScript library. And what does that mean? Backend web development. So that is most of the time Node, PHP, Python, Java. It's not an exhaustive list. There might be also other programming languages. And last week we have installed a code editor. This is my favorite, but there are lots of code editors. But this VS Code is the best. And here, actually, I just put list of technologies here. If you see there here in the middle and some in this side. Okay, so I think there is something here. It's Express, but don't worry about it. So this part is the front end technologies, HTML5, CSS, the JavaScript, TypeScript, Sass, Webpack, Bootstrap, Progressive Web App, React, ESLint. This is just last time, if you remember, ESLint, you installed as extension. So it's just a tool for development purpose to increase your productivity. And you don't have to know everything at once, but it's good to have the very big picture, you know. Now, we have this NPM, which stands for Node Package Management. It allows us to install different JavaScript package to our application. This is Yarn, this and this has the same purpose. Do you know this? Who knows this? I have to slow down. Who knows?
GitHub.
Yes. What's the purpose of GitHub? I'm waiting for an answer.
mean, GitHub, it's, let's say, a repository for your source code. So it enables you to manage in one place all your code. And you can also share it with other developers so that they can also contribute if needed.
Yeah, that's true. Good. Yeah. I didn't see who answered. Are you Mark? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, great. So GitHub as a developer, if you don't have any GitHub account, I would strongly suggest you to have GitHub. If it's not now after this lesson, okay? Yeah. If I am hiring people, the first time I see if they have a Git account or not. If they don't have Git account, I feel that they are a bit behind because they are not getting lots of information. GitHub is like a powerhouse of information. You get lots of codes. Yeah, there. So the purpose of GitHub, one, as he said, it's a storage. You store your code. Second, you collaborate. For instance, if I want to collaborate with you, just we can create a repository. You work on that on different tasks, and I work on, so it's easy to collaborate. It doesn't matter if you are in Asia or Africa or Europe, wherever you could be, you can contribute as a contributor or in a real life project also. So it's a very good platform to contribute to work or collaborate. And in addition, also version control. You can have different versions. Version 1, version 2, version 3. At some point, you may develop some application and you like it, but if you but you are afraid of changing, right? But actually, you can create a branch or a commit, and then you can save your previous version and you can work on the version you want, a new version. So it's a good way to control the version. By the way, this is a Bitbucket, and they do have the same function, GitHub. And this is the backend part. As you can see, Node, Nodeman, MongoDB, MySQL, and this is Heroku, a place where you can host your application. And this is also Netlify. I really like them because they give you a free hosting place. The same goes here because they just provide you a free hosting. I mean, a place, and you can host different application. For me, at least as a teacher, I use it because my students can get access for free. They don't pay. They try the experiment things on their platform. Okay, I think this is the end. Do I have more? Yeah, that's the end. So in the breakout room, I want you to answer the previous questions. Do you remember the questions, guys? Okay. Yeah, who would like to write the questions on the chat? A person who took a note. I can write it, but I want you to help me out. What's the library? That's great. So what's a library? What's a single stack? And what is a single page application? What's the single page application, and what is full stack application? That is there. Yeah, I think that is yeah, good. So I will send you in the breaking room, and you will spend there for 5 minutes. Let me see. Breakout rooms. I will divide you into three then it will be there. Okay, I should have time. You will be back by 19:05.
How about you, Mark? How's Finnish?
My Finnish is not very good, but we can try.
Okay, so speak English. Sorry.
English is fine too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the questions were what is a library and what is a single page application and what is a full stack application.
Very interesting tool in Illustrator, which is called directories.
Yeah.
So here in our tool panel, we are having.
So does someone have an answer?
Looking similar but colored white.
Okay, so
I can.
Shortcut key A.
Yeah, Mark, you can speak. Sorry.
So I can maybe answer the single page application. So when the internet started, every time you clicked on a link, the page would be reloaded and like some other content would show up. But nowadays, this is considered bad practice because all the content would have to be requested again and sent again. But with a single page app, you sort of circumvent loading the page completely again after clicking somewhere, showing some other content, but instead it stays on the same page, but like it loads part of the page only.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was a really good answer.
JavaScript library for building user interfaces. So basically a place where you can make things that other people can read. So maybe take everything we learn in class and then put it so somebody else can view it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't have any answer to this one. But I think,
Okay.
can it be just like, I think he said that React is a library, and that is
Yes. Yep.
a library for JavaScript.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I understand in theory, but not then.
Page and some data and images and video and things like that could be one page. You know. What else?
It could use like a different programming languages. Like it could have a JavaScript. It could be dynamic, but then it doesn't link to any other pages. Is that what it means?
But that could be it. You know, that could be just indeed what you just said. But yeah, so you are within that single page and you're not navigating to other pages. But I still think that you know, a single page could be, because one page could virtually be made of multiple pages. You know, I mean, ultimately, I think if you have just an hyperlink from one static page to another, I still think it's globally, you know, one single page. You know, it's just that you have divided, you know, the page into simple parts. But ultimately, it could be so the most simplest is just you just have one HTML page. And a little bit more complex could be that you have multiple HTML pages, so static pages where you have HTML and JavaScript, and where you could navigate from one page to another. I think for me, that will still be, you know, simple. I think when things become much more complex is when I think you move to full stack, because then full stack is you need a server that needs to run some process, you know, like you have a web form, for example, like if you need to check your bank account, you know, you must interact with a database. So that suddenly
We're back.
Hello.
hello.
Hi.
So how was it?
It was fine. We discussed everything.
Okay, so I think you're excited to talk what you have been talking about. So can you share with us, which group are you?
This is Anna. I was with
Group
Mark and Jessica.
Yeah, your group too. So can you say something what you have discussed?
So we discussed about what a library is and what a single page application is, and what was the other thing? I've got a terrible memory.
Full stack application.
Yes, but I think I do understand them better now. I didn't understand what a single page application was before, and now I have a clearer idea of what it means.
Okay, great. So can you share with us what now, like, what's your understanding?
Okay, well, I guess it's something that can operate on its own. It doesn't really need to refer, it doesn't need to communicate back and forth with the server or access databases or anything. It's just a sort of self-contained web page or collection of web pages on the net.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. How about library?
Well, that's just basically a collection of ready-made code or applications or things that you might need to use and don't want to have to keep writing over and over again from scratch.
Okay, good. Yeah. Then let's move on to group 1. Julie, Yoda, Mark, and Sophia. I'm waiting for if you have reached to some conclusion about the questions.
Yeah, I don't know what to add. I think the previous answer was quite similar to what we discussed as well, but maybe if someone else wants to add something.
Yeah, I think I would have said the same thing as Sophia and Anna also.
Okay. Okay, let me go to group 3. How about group 3?
Yeah, so my two group mates, they kind of brainstormed what they thought the answers were. And then I did a little bit of fact checking on the internet, but because we didn't have much prior knowledge. But it sounds good what everyone said, and it seems like React is just one of the libraries that allows for a user interface. So some way to go between what we're going to learn in this class and how other people can view it.
Okay, good. Yes, somehow. I think I was trying to open things which can demonstrate for you what a single application looks like, and maybe I think this is developed using something else. Maybe I have to find something else. Maybe let's see. Learn. I think my previous student know this application before or not. I don't know. Let me try. All these applications were made for demo purpose to show for students or to, as you can see, the loading time is long because it's deployed on Heroku, a free server. So it has some latency. It sleeps when there is no request, it sleeps. Okay, I think Anna and maybe in the other groups know this because they have been filling some information over here and they know it already. Maybe Anna's profile is still here, if you remember. So,
are you sharing the screen? Because I think we're not seeing the screen.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I thought
I checked if I had some glitches. No.
Okay,
great.
sorry.
Now we can see the screen.
Great. So first, let me explain to you what the single page application means. Actually, a single page application has only one single page. It's easy, right? An application which has only one page. I can't explain it more than this. We don't need about homepage, about page, contacts page, students page, applies page. We don't need. Instead, we need just one page. So is this a full stack application, or I mean, is it a single page application or not? I'm asking you in a somehow in a different way. Most probably you may say this is not a full stack application, but actually, I mean, sorry, a single page application, but this is actually a single page application. So I have to open our previous code, VS Code.
Can I ask a question? So
Please.
what's the difference between landing page and single page?
Oh, yeah, okay, good. Some people may say landing page. At least I need landing page means what you have. We don't need this anymore. Okay, I prefer to show you. So most of the time, this is the landing page. The landing page means the page you get whenever you open the website. Yeah? Is it clear? Landing page is the page you get whenever you open the website. This is the landing page for this website. The home and the main page is the landing page. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is, but single page application is a modern concept. Instead of creating thousands of pages, actually, we can just create one page and dynamically show the data. So what you need actually whenever you develop, I have to remove all this, my project is usually, I forgot to, have you seen? We have only one page, that is the index.html. So we are not going to add any page. Instead, we will have one single page, the proud index.html. It's easy, right? You are not going to have any other page. Is it clear? Yeah. It's a relief, a big relief. You are not going to create any page. So that is single page application. But like if you are doing things in an old way, so you have to have the index.html, about page, contact page, whatsoever page, continue. For instance, this was built by React and it has only one page index. So the others actually are components. Those components come at a different time. So they display on the same page. This is, for instance, a student's page. I'm a student for this site, and this is just my profile or something. So if you want, even you can try submitting some data and just destroy this application. I can share with you. And this is one example of single page application. It's just a demo. It's not a complete project, but it just collects some data. So whenever you put some data here, your privacy will not go anywhere. This is managed by myself, so you can try it. And also just check. You can fill all the information here if you want to just to try out. So this is a single page application. Maybe at some point, if you continue in January with React, I may also ask you to develop something like this. But with JavaScript, we can't we can develop anything with JavaScript, but it's very tiring. Instead, we have to use a library. A library can make your life somehow easy. So there are React, Angular, Vue, Ember, Knockout. There are hundreds of JavaScript library, but the most popular by now is React. So I would recommend you React after this. And maybe the application which we are going to develop in this lesson, this is the one of the project countries. Okay, this was built by JavaScript. So you can sort countries by name. You can sort countries by capital, and you can sort countries by population. And also, you can see some data. And this data is not written manually, okay? It is generated dynamically from the country's information. So 10 most populated countries in the world, as you can see, and the language, the 10 most spoken language. Of course, everybody knows that English is the most spoken in 91 countries. Next, French in 45 countries. And if you come to population, China, India, and the list goes on. So this is one of the applications you can develop with JavaScript or React. But now our lesson is in JavaScript, and we will build something like this or exactly this one and other projects. After 2 lessons, we will start working on projects. Okay, I think one thing we didn't answer, is it a full stack application? This one. I'm waiting for you. Yeah, is it a full stack application? As you can see, there is apply, and it handles people's information. And if you apply here, your data will come and populate it here, and even you can try it. So anyone who is applying, it comes here, and you can also see and you can accept students. For instance, this person accepted, and his role is as a marketer. And what do you think about this application? Is it a full stack application or just a single page application?
I don't know.
I think it's a full stack application because it processes data in the background.
In the
background. How I understand it.
Okay. If data, as you can see, data, you can apply here. That means you're sending data to be stored in the database, right? And as Katarzyna said, this is a full stack application. You can apply and you can store, you can collect students' data, and you can see it here also. So this is almost like Facebook or maybe LinkedIn or whatsoever. It has both front end and the back end. If you collect data and if you store it in the back end, it's already a full stack application. Is it clear?
Yes.
Great. So is my explanation and your discussion similar somehow? Does it? Or is it completely different? It doesn't matter. The thing is now you have the very big picture of web development. You know what's a library. You know what's a single page application. You know what's a full stack application. You know what's front end, and you know what's back end. This is the first stage you should understand when you join the web development career. Yes. So now let's have a break, and then after this we will open our VS Code and we will start coding. Shall we have a 5 minutes break, and we will be back at 6:40. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Great.
Will you be sending a new link via Telegram, Asabine? Hello?
I will keep this. You will be on.
Okay.
I will not disconnect this. Okay.
Okay. So this one doesn't. I guess this one doesn't expire.
Yeah, it doesn't expire either. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool.